rolls ball in. And it's still loose. And it's Luton!
Here's McAnuff, goes past a couple, into the box, get the shot off. Yes! We're at Wembley! After the ball in.
Oh, what a chance here! They've done it! Lefondre looking to get onside of Font. Lefondre away from David. 3-1 Reading. 3 points Reading.
Hello and welcome to the post-match reaction for our 0-0 at Luton Town, which is almost been made irrelevant. Our season is over with a win for Barnsley at Huddersfield. But wow, that was not a good performance for a team that is trying to get into the playoffs, is it, Alex?
No, it's unfortunately so typical of the last 2 months now, since maybe the start of March. We've really struggled to create chances and score goals. And again tonight, what was it, 2 shots on target the entire 90 minutes? And you know, at the end of the day, that's not really good enough for a team that's going to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is. Is it the mental fatigue, physical fatigue? Just not enough shots? No. Another basic fight. I don't think it was lack of effort, but it was desire to take that risk in the final third. It just wasn't there, and it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough.
No, it wasn't for a team that started the season so well. That wasn't anywhere near good enough. And I mean, this is a fair point. Somebody needs to ask some questions about what's happened in the last few months, because there's so many comments coming in here, flying in. No urgency, no attacking tactics. And they're all true. We don't look like we're willing to take any risk. We don't look like we're willing to show for any runners. We just look really, really just kind of out of ideas and just completely just done with the season, which you shouldn't be when you're chasing down a playoff spot still.
Yeah, we need to try and work out what we can do going forward on that. But any positives from tonight? I would say Tom Holmes played well. We were talking about it on the watch along, and Josh Lauren. Anyone else you could pick out there at all, Alex?
I mean, we didn't concede, so I'm going to have to say Raphael at least didn't concede a goal. Yeah, Josh, Baldock and Aluko both actually were okay when they came on, and we did, I guess, look slightly better with them on the field. But there's so many negatives, and that's it's really difficult to throw too many positives. Yeah, Colin was at least playing. Good question. I don't really see him doing anything. Mate, anonymous tonight. Puskas, probably one of his worst performances. It's just, and this is probably one of my main things from tonight. Scott saying that nobody took responsibility. Nobody wanted to try and win the game for Reading. And that's not good enough. Like, someone has to lead them going forwards. They're a team of creative players, and none of them are willing to really try and step up and win the game.
I think the only player that only took any bit of control or responsibility was Swift when he came on. Unfortunately, I just don't think he's fit enough to last for much longer than what he was. He's probably playing ahead of when he should be on the pitch. It's frustrating. Barnsley are going to get into the playoffs. They deserve to be there. They've been on an amazing run. But from a Reading point of view, you just want to see that fight right until the end. And the players walk off and they look unhappy. But the mental side is what worries me. And I agree with you, Alex. I've seen this for too many years now, not just this season. We just wilt under pressure and just go sideways, backwards. It just won't take that risk. And
yeah, it's a collapse. There's no one there who's willing to have a shot at goal. I think Elise had one shot from outside the area tonight. Late on, Swift had a free kick, but we didn't have a shot in the area, I don't think, at all. Puskas put a chance wide before half time when he's headed it 4 yards wide when he's completely free. But yeah, just not good enough at all.
Yeah,
this George, I agree with completely. By the way, I mentioned it on the watch along multiple times tonight. Pub football, the quality of passing tonight was absolutely diabolically bad. One of the worst passing performances I've seen from a Reading team in absolutely years.
Well, I reckon it was worse under Clement. Clement, that was pretty bad. But yeah, he wasn't good. Yeah, I worry for next season as well, Colin, in the comments there. And yeah, points deduction, who knows? Our debts are absolutely insane. Yeah, points looking at too soon to discuss next season. I don't think in some ways we can, but fresh ideas. I think the Panovich has created some of this energy going all the way back to the Wickham match when he was so negative in that match. And we went into that game with the wrong mindset. And we've never really recovered, I would say, from that, Alex.
No, we after that Wickham game, which we lost, what was that, February? We haven't seen, we've never really kind of picked back any kind of form. We've never looked like we're going to go out and score 3 or 4 goals, particularly in a game. And there's just too many games now since then where we've just kind of like ambled through games for 80 minutes without really creating enough. I think this is definitely going to happen, by the way, Keegan. I'd be very surprised if Elise is still here in August, but it's all going to be down to the price that a team is willing to pay.
It's also whether our owner, who has absolutely no issue with just spending millions after millions on anything, he doesn't seem to understand it or anything. But people giving negative comments about Elise. Elise has also been really good this season. He didn't play well tonight, but there's been lots of positives that he's brought this season. So you have to look at it overall.
I mean, he's 18 at the end of the day, or he's just turned 19. There's not many players in the Championship at 18 or 19 who are playing week in, week out like he is. And, you know, realistically, he is probably one of our more talented players, however you might want to see him in terms of performance levels. So it's, you know, I think he's bound to leave this summer. I mean, I kind of disagree with you, Paul. As much as our owner is crazy, I'm not sure he's going to turn down
No, he shouldn't.
£20 million. He might, but let's hope he doesn't, because it's the only way we're probably going to be able to sign anybody this summer.
Yeah, I think this is the massive positive I'm going to take for next season, is that at least we can go and watch it in person and enjoy the pain even more. That's the only thing, isn't it? So thanks a lot for joining us. Really appreciate it. It's been a shit night for Reading, hasn't it? Because let's forget a playoffs. We just didn't play well at all. And we still didn't lose. I guess but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like a loss, doesn't it? There's no one going to dress it up and feel like that's a positive. So cheers. Appreciate it. I've now got to go and record a podcast with Alex. So sympathy for us. Got to stretch it out to at least 20 minutes. I don't know how the hell we're going to do it, but there might be a lot of Super League chatting there.